The most important meal of the day, second breakfast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Second Breakfast podcast. I'm Andy Roth alongside Phil Duvall. Say hi, Phil.
Hi. Hi. Hello.
For those,
Good to have you all.
Yeah, he was just annoying me right before we started this recording. So,
That's not why I was laughing, though.
Oh, it's true. That's true.
I was giggling because I'm real. Like the same reason I was giggling last time was like, we're doing this again.
It's true.
I'm not over the giddiness. This is Second Breakfast's second honeymoon period.
Flying high.
This is the second honeymoon after our second marriage, and it's just feels good.
I'm saying second and putting us into weird relationship statuses.
Thought we were there, but okay, all right.
Okay. Look. I didn't want to say it.
So I thought. It's okay. We're good. Don't worry about it.
Public this quick. I don't know what to tell you.
We've been playing the long game.
The real long game.
Andy and I have known each other for 23 years. So we've been playing the long game.
It's true.
When we finally come together, people will be like, how did it take them so long?
Yeah, right. Couldn't have seen that coming. No one will say.
So we didn't finish what we were doing because we were so excited to talk about movies.
It's true. And let's be clear, right at the jump, we may not finish it this time either.
Yeah. But this time I just feel differently about it. This time I'm like, hey, if we don't finish, whatever. Like, well, let's just talk about movies and see what happens.
Yeah. So do you want to give the rundown of what we're in the middle of?
Picture this.
Oh boy.
There was a time when we were doing these Second Breakfast podcasts and we had mailbags because we're not original. And we thought, why should we create our own content when other people could create it for us?
That's dance for us, monkeys. Yes.
Dance. So pull the string. So people would write into these things, and then one of our friends / listeners, Josh, wrote us this question that was like really not a question. It was like 12 questions. And they fed into each other, and they had multiple choice answers, and you had to choose from them regardless. It was like stuff like, what's Kubrick's best movie? And then he listed 3, and you could have been like, well, none of those are his best movie. And he's like, well, that's too bad because here are your choices. Sure. And so we called it the Gauntlet, and we did this whole episode on it, just his questions. And so Josh always challenged us, and other people started writing gauntlets, series of questions that were meant to make our lives ever more difficult and a lot of fun anyway. So Josh, the reason we started recording again during this quarantine times, Josh sent us this message about if you had a quarantine film fest and you could only pick one film for each genre, what would your film fest look like? And then he just had a list of genres, and of course we're about a little bit past halfway through the list, and we couldn't get through it took us an hour just to get through. It took us an hour to get through half the list because we're just talking about movies, and Andy and I haven't done this with you guys in a long time. So we're just it's like we're clearing our movie snob throats is really what's happening.
Clear the mechanism.
Oh, Sam Raimi, little love of the game. So anyways, that's what we're doing, and so far we've covered the Western genre, the monster movie genre, the fantasy genre, the action genre. Did you see that Jeopardy clip of Alex Trebek saying genre?
Oh no!
We're not especially right now. We're not allowed to hate Alex Trebek, so that's just like that's like written in the code.
I mean, sure.
Of the Matrix, but
was
he
it
literally?
Did he say
he
it
says
his way?
He's well. I mean. When given the chance, how else does he go? But he doesn't, like, he literally, and with a straight face was like, this genre of movies. And I was like, wow, he like swallowed the R and everything. I mean, just really, and just did it so like when you're talking to someone and they're like, I was just thinking about going down and getting a quesadilla and maybe, some chimichangas. It would be nice. And you're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Right? That's how Trebek slid into the genre. Anyways. I just say genre like a Midwestern white dude is really how I say genre.
Please do.
But we did Western, monster, fantasy, action, thriller, horror, drama, science fiction, science fantasy, and we finished up on comedy. But we still have other genres left that he's talked
So
about.
many more.
This is
So
the
many.
greatest film fest. Gosh, if only we had several months there where we couldn't leave our homes. We could watch all these movies. Oh, we do. Now,
True. It's true.
Andy, my friends, for those for some reason who didn't listen to the first half, go ahead, Andy.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Let us not forget that a large percentage of why we're able to do these podcasts again is because we've run out of fun things to do in our homes. So there's that too, right? Just throwing that out.
Yeah. Spoiler, I never had fun things to do in my home. But this is really great. I mean, I could be fixing things, but I'm not, how people, like, so we're like going to sell our house and move to a smaller house. And like, there's a lot of reasons for that. But one of the reasons is like, to live in a house like this, you have to be the kind of person who like, it's old, right? It's like 90 years old. And you have to be the kind of, and it's like 2,500, 3,000 square feet. And you've got to be one of those people who's like, I was just going to spend Saturday at the Home Depot, and then I was going to come home and work on this thing and fix I was just going to fix replaster some areas over here, and then I was going to touch up. Man, I'm not going to do any of those things.
That's not anything.
I would live in a hotel if I could. And if you think I'm kidding, when you see those movies where like mobsters or whoever like live in hotels, and you're like, that's absurd. I am watching it being like, that is amazing. That is what you've got to do. I'll do. Okay. I mean, how do I run rum? Like, how does this work? Teach me the trick.
In Rushmore, where Bill Murray is like, how long? They're like, Bill Murray, how long will you be staying with us? And he's like, indefinitely. I'm being sued for divorce. And it's
Indefinitely, like, right?
Do you have to be sued for divorce for that to happen? Like, can you just
right? Could you just? Only in a Wes Anderson movie would you need to be sued for divorce to do that. I don't want to take care of anything. I know we don't like Kevin Spacey anymore because he's a bad man. But that line from American, and he is, I'm not kidding, he is bad. But that line from American Beauty when he's trying to get a job at the fast food place, and the guy's like, we don't have any management positions. And he's like, I don't want a management position. And he's like, sir, you're way overqualified for every job that we have available. And he says, I want the least amount of responsibility possible. That is exactly how I feel at home. Like, I don't. Yeah. And so, this is what I want to be doing on my day off, is hanging out and talking with you about movies and BSing, not gardening. Gardening.
Right.
Do you know people never look happy when they're gardening, and then they don't look happy when it's over? Their yards look great. That's awesome. Good. It's not bad. Like I've done it. I've done it for myself. I've done it for a living. I've done it.
Wow.
But it's not fun.
That's intense.
I'm just saying, I'd rather just talk to you on Zoom. That was not a sponsoring. They did not pay me to say that.
No, although Zoom, if you want to sponsor us, you go right ahead.
It's true. Fair point. So one last thing about this quarantine film festival. Do you want to tell them about The Wrinkle for those for who, for whatever reason, didn't tune in the first half?
So the question was posed to us, was like, you can only choose one movie per genre. And of course, we're talking about several movies, or at least I am. But as sort of nominees, my winner, I made the decision that, like, what if you are spending quarantine at like your cabin by the lake, which doesn't have streaming? Okay. So basically for a movie to win the day and be my choice for a genre, it's got to be a movie that I own. Normally, because I'm that guy, that means physical, but I do have digital movies that I have on a hard drive, so it wouldn't require Wi-Fi. So it could be one of those as well. My nominees do not have to be that. I will mention movies that I think would be great, regardless of whether or not I own them. But for a movie to be my pick, it will be a movie that I have to own. Okay.
So I went with the same, because Andy did this and because I'm unoriginal, I went with the same rules. I did, however, I was like, God, he's doing nominees. What a time waste. And then I'm wasting my time, your all's time, in a completely different way. The way that I'm doing it is that I've got 2 picks for each category. My pick for myself and the pick for when the kids are in the house, because there's 3 of them and they're always here. So how do I do a film festival with children? So I have my after they go to bed picks, and then I have my here they come walking in the room, I better put this on for them picks for each genre.
Right.
And again, same rule, have to own it.
Right.
Have to own it. Although Andy did allow for digital ownership.
I did. So basically, Phil is giving you curse words and nipples, and then no curse words or nipples. Those are the right.
Whew, it's a hard and fast rule. Yes, that's.
Yeah.
Let me look at the list. It's not totally wrong.
Cool. So with that, with curse words and nipples as our segue, shall we dive in?
Our segue, but not the name of the episode.
No. Maybe the name of my memoir, though. Anyway,
All right, diving back in, Andy.
Yeah. So
I believe we're looking at the next category is
musicals, and this is of course movie musicals.
Yes.
Here is what I was choosing between. Singing in the Rain, The Sound of Music, Annie, because we're heading into another depression. Zing! Sorry.
Oh gosh.
Once.
Oh.
Once.
That's how many times I want to see that movie.
Oh, bite your tongue. Anyway, I'm gonna get a little weird here, a lot weird. Kalho Naho, which is a Bollywood film that is a 3-hour musical comedy retelling of the Cyrano de Bergerac story, and it is bananas, but it is a lot of fun to watch.
You're so woke.
I was
You're so woke.
It was given to me by a guy I knew in New York who was and presumably still is African American, so woke.
Was and presumably is.
Presumably still is.
No big deal, but I have this African American friend who gave me this Bollywood film, and it's a 3-hour Cyrano de Bergerac, but no big deal.
He didn't. He was like,
no, Andy, Andy,
it's
okay. It's okay.
You know what?
What's your winner?
Watch Kalho Naho, okay?
I will.
Before I say this, I do have to say I just saw a musical on stage that is my honorary mention in this. Obviously, it conforms to none of our rules, but there is a show.
Quarantine Theater Festival.
Yes, there is a show called Come From Away, which is about the Canadian town that took in all of the American planes that could not land on 9/11, and they were stuck there for several days.
Oh wow!
It is so charming. It is like, how to put this? It is the full Monty level of charming. Yes, it is that.
Movie's so charming.
Exactly. It is that charming. It is so good. Not a movie. Don't own it, clearly, but
just needed to say it out loud.
You need to say it. I haven't
even I get it.
So, or the cast recording, so I don't know how it works just as music.
Sure.
Give it a shot. It's amazing.
Yeah.
My winner, possibly a surprise, The Sound of Music.
Oh, not a surprise.
Well, I own a giant poster of Singing in the Rain. It is my favorite movie.
It's funny you said that. Singing in the Rain did not make my list, and yet I own it, and it was very close on a number of categories.
Sure.
And I was like, Andy's going to pick Singing in the Rain, so we're going to talk about it. So I guess you're right. That is a surprise. Good call.
There you go. So here's why I picked Sound of Music. Because I went back and forth on this for a really long time. Singing in the Rain is not only my favorite movie musical, it's one of my very favorite movies overall. But Sound of Music, thinking about like what your mindset is in quarantine, right? Like Sound of Music is a show that even if you don't know or like musicals, you probably know and like most of the songs in that show. So you can sing along if you want, right?
Yeah. Her out on that hill all by herself. Fantastic social distancing.
Yes. Amen.
We live in a time of Nazis now.
Literally the next thing out of my mouth was going to be Nazi fighting. Feels kind of timely.
Sadly.
Right. And this is really sort of lovely about it. And it's why I chose it. Was the final decision maker for me. The point of the story is figuratively, literally for the Von Trapps, but figuratively for the rest of us, you can, through the power of music, make yourself free. And I mean, through the power of the sound of music. So, I
love it.
Come on.
I love this choice, Andy.
Thanks.
I love the choice, Singing in the Rain, just to be mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fantastic. I actually went, I had one movie written down as my choice.
Okay.
And then realized that it wasn't my choice, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
My choice was West Side Story. because
it.
it's officially my favorite movie musical.
Love
I
it.
love it. At
Love.
beginning to end, it's fantastic.
Love. There's a place for us.
But then there is a place for us, and I do want to watch it soon. I haven't watched it in a long while, and I don't know if you know this. It's super sad,
It is. It is.
and I've been really sad lately.
Sure.
Like this has been really hard.
Mhm.
But another incredibly sad movie took its place, and the reason it took its place is because I actually watched it during the quarantine. So why not actually pick the movie
Sure.
that fits the category of what I've actually done during the quarantine?
Is it a musical version of The Deer Hunter? Is that is that it?
There's only one bullet in this chamber. Let's see what happens when I pull the trigger.
This is the show, folks. You can't get this anywhere else. Nowhere else.
Inside Llewyn Davis. Inside
Beautiful.
Llewyn Davis. It's
Love it.
which there's at least a couple people listening going, huh? What? Huh? It's the Coen Brothers movie, so I think it's my second or third Coen Brothers movie of the list.
Sure.
It's my favorite Coen Brothers movie. I think it's their. Think it might be their saddest movie, although Serious Man in some ways is sadder.
Sure.
It's so lonely and so I love. First of all, it is set right before in the midst of the folk explosion in Greenwich Village in the early 1960. And so Dylan is right all around it, but Dylan's not in it. So it's like this thing around Bob Dylan, but not Bob Dylan, which I just love that. Every actor that's in it is amazing. Every actor that's in it, Carey Mulligan's in it, and obviously Oscar Isaac and Adam Driver's in it for 5 minutes, just being amazing. And Justin Timberlake, who's not someone who's like, I better go see that. Justin Timberlake's in it, but he's always good whenever he's in something. So I should probably get over that. F. Murray Abraham shows up, John Goodman, Garrett Hedlund, who's the Tim Riggins character in the Friday Night Lights movie.
Yep.
Oh, he was just highly underrated. Anyway, I just love this movie. I love it. It feels so. If you've ever known what it's like to feel intensely lonely while surrounded by people, this movie is for you. If you love music, but are and you don't want to be snobby about music, like you really don't, but you're totally snobby about music, and you make fun of people who are snobby about music, but I mean, this movie was made for me. This movie is like, it literally for me is the most personal movie for me it's up there with like Tenenbaums or a couple others, probably higher than them. Like it feels like my favorite filmmakers were like, we need to make a movie for Phil.
Right.
And they're like, it should be a musical then. And it is. I mean, you wouldn't call it a musical technically, but there are musical interludes throughout that are filmed that are, it's not the people like turning to the camera, because it's actual musicians, and it's the moments where they're shooting, they're playing, they're recording or playing concerts or whatever. So I love it. I love this movie beyond, and it's a really good movie. I watched it late at night. It was super sad and it was fantastic. But Andy, if my kids walk in the room, am I going to watch Inside Llewyn Davis?
I mean,
Andy, it's rated R. I can't do that.
I mean,
no, I can't. But Andy, I can and will and have several times watched Frozen 2 and felt great about it.
I love it.
Oh, I love Frozen 2.
You know what?
Some people don't like Frozen 2, and I don't have any. I can't. There's nothing.
No,
okay, don't then, I guess. Oh, I do the next right thing, which is to watch that movie again.
There you go. There it is.
I think Frozen will always be this classic, this thing that happened, like a cultural. It'll be culturally like it's a thing that happened.
Yeah.
That will always resonate in a very specific way with our generation and with our kids and our generation, unquestionably.
Yeah, no question.
I think Frozen 2 in so many ways is a more complex, bolder, like more genius movie in a lot of ways, or at least it builds on the first one in a really powerful way. And you don't have to choose one over the other. I think it's an able second chapter in the story, and I love it to pieces. And I would do 3 podcasts just on that movie, so we're not going to do that now. That would be my choice for musical.
Nice.
I hope we have the same choice for romance, Andy.
I don't think we do actually.
makes me sad.
I'd be a little surprised. What is your choice?
Oh, I've never gone first before.
I know. I'm switching up on you.
I'm
Also,
feeling a little odd about it.
it's a little weird that this is romance and not romantic comedy.
I just immediately went to romantic comedy. That's where
I mostly did too. Also, it's one of my favorite genres, so I had to.
Right.
Please.
I mean, When Harry Met Sally.
Mm-hmm.
It's just literally any time that it's on. It's a benchmark for me. And I mean, I'll watch it anytime. I'll put it on. I was on an airplane, and you know how now airplanes, I don't know if you remember these, there used to be these big metal birds that flew through the sky, and we'd all get on them and like sit next to people. Like we weren't even 6 feet away. We'd like be right next to people. It was very odd.
Sure.
But they had these TVs on the back of them and you could watch stuff. Well, it used to be that you could only watch one thing, but now they've got these TVs on the back where you can like pick a bunch of different things.
So many things. Yeah.
Well, they had like all these picks and all sorts of stuff I hadn't seen, and they had When Harry Met Sally, and I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna watch When Harry Met Sally."
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and watch that. I own it. I'm gonna go ahead and watch that.
Did she look heavy? Her legs looked heavy. She must be retaining water. Harry.
She must be retaining water.
Harry. The woman saved everything.
The woman saved everything. I didn't pick a romantic comedy for my children because that's not actually big in the like, that's not a genre for kids generally. I mean, there are romantic interests.
Sure.
But not, if you wanted to go with like a platonic romance, then I would go with Wreck-It Ralph in a heartbeat.
Love it.
Because the relationship between Ralph and Vanellope is just like the best
beautiful.
thing ever.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And just, but I can't think of a romance that I would be like, oh, hey kids, let's watch these people fall in love, and then you never do that. So what was your tell me about your nominees and your pick?
Yeah, so my first nominee, When Harry Met Sally, because it is either my number one.
It's your favorite. It's up there, yeah.
Yeah, it's my number one or number two movie of all time with Rushmore, which could also be, if you squinted at and look at it sideways, there are certainly romantic aspects to that movie as well.
Yes.
Before Sunrise, Richard Linklater, which made it in there because I didn't just limit myself to romantic comedies, although there are certainly funny parts to that movie as well. The Goodbye Girl.
One of your favorites. It was like your favorite when I first met you. It was like your official favorite movie when I first met you.
No, but it was my favorite movie. It was my favorite romantic comedy that nobody else knew about. When Harry Met Sally has been my favorite movie since it wasn't.
Since you were too young to have seen it?
Like when it wasn't like middle school and my favorite movie was Holy Grail, right?
Right.
Like,
right.
Yeah. But yeah, so Goodbye Girl, I'll just say this. Richard Dreyfuss won the Academy Award for Best Actor for a romantic
comedy. Yeah.
What was the other like when else has that happened?
I wonder what else was nominated that year. I'm gonna look it up. Keep talking though, because I'm gonna look that up though.
Okay. My winner.
Yes.
Before Sunrise.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
the original
that way too. And because if there's anything that this quarantine feels like, it's let's hope you found someone that you can spend all of your time with and talk to about nothing for hours, because that is in your future, right? So
you're making me wish I could go back to my drama category and pick Boyhood. But I don't own it, so it wouldn't fit the category. But oh my gosh.
Yes. So there you go. Answer quick. Do you have it?
Working on it.
Oh, you are the worst.
Hey, I was trying to listen to your stupid voice.
I know. And a little small part of me appreciates you for that. Most of me doesn't.
It hasn't proven to be useful.
That's true. Very small part of me.
What is this thing? Here we go. We're getting close.
Okay. I will say this about Before Sunrise.
Tell me.
I also highly recommend
the other two.
It is the first movie in a trilogy, Before Sunset and the Before Midnight. And if there is a more honest portrayal of two people who are actual real people, who actually love each other but have actual problems over a 20+ year span, right?
Amazing.
I have never seen it. I have never seen
Richard Linklater's working. He's playing a different game than everybody else is saying.
He really is.
It's just
He really is. You have the nominees? The other ones?
this 1977 Academy Awards. I just lost it. I literally had it. And okay, so first of all, this was the year that Woody Allen was nominated for Annie Hall, which means Annie Hall won for picture and director and writer and actress, but Dreyfuss beat out Woody Allen for actor, which is fascinating.
That is fascinating.
Richard Burton for Equus.
Wow. Okay.
Never seen it, but I've seen Bill Murray do his Richard Burton impression in Scrooge. So really, I think I'm all set.
You've basically done that. By the way, I have looked this up, and so
Marcello Mastroianni
Ooh.
in a movie called A Special Day, which I've never heard of.
Nope.
And John Travolta for Saturday Night Fever.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I just looked up Special Day. It's an Italian drama directed by Scola. With Mastroianni and Sophia Loren. I've never heard of it, but
which is weird because it's Mastroianni and Sophia Loren, but I haven't heard of it either.
Anyways, World War II era. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I don't care. Okay.
Way to go, Dreyfuss.
Yeah, I mean,
what a weird year for movies.
That is a weird year. I would not have purely on the strength of his acting performance. I would not have had a problem with Allen taking that.
Sure.
But I'm going with Dreyfuss. Okay, moving on.
Bold pick.
Was that?
No, I said bold pick.
Yeah, right. Sports film.
Oh,
Andy. I had to rein myself in here.
Oh my gosh, I was whereas I own two of them, so they were the two that made my list.
Right.
You own a squillion of these movies.
I do. I own a squillion.
That's roughly a squillion.
My sports films. Bull Durham.
Of course.
I live in North Carolina. I went to Duke. Come on.
You also, loved it before then.
I loved it before. Right. No, right. Thank you.
Like Bull Durham, because I like things that are good.
Yeah, right. Because I like things that are good. It's amazing. Right. No one seems to know what to get John and Millie for their wedding.
We're dealing with some real stuff here.
Where am I? Field of Dreams, because Kevin Costner baseball, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. They're great.
Agreed.
Warrior, the MMA, I will say it, masterpiece. It is an incredible movie.
Piece that is masterful.
Yes. And Breaking Away. Breaking Away.
That's the is that the Kevin Costner cycling movie?
Not Kevin Costner.
Oh, he's not. He's in Quicksilver or something like that.
Or something.
It's that kid. It's the kid who's like ciao while he's on the bike.
Dennis.
For some reason, I watched that movie in like middle school, and I was like, "What is happening?"
That is so weird.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
My pick.
Yeah.
Is Breaking Away. So let me tell you about this movie. Okay. I don't have any real interest in cycling. Okay.
No, I've never heard you mention an interest in cycling.
No, never. No. Not ever. If you were trapped like James Franco in 127 hours, if you were pinned under and against something heavy, this movie would make you feel, you know what it is? In the Shawshank Redemption, where he plays Mozart for the
and
inmates,
everyone is just like, oh.
And for those
free,
who knew what it felt like to be free men.
Yeah.
That is what this movie will do for you.
Oh, buddy.
So charming. And the cast, it is Dennis Christopher as the lead, who is just unbelievably winning. He is this guy who has these like blue collar, like very serious and sober parents.
Right.
And he's doing things like speaking Italian to them because Italians are the best cyclists in the world. And Paul Dooley as his dad is like the best movie dad ever, because he's like, I love my kid, but what the hell?
Right. And he's never like angry. Like it's never like, it isn't like you need to leave my house.
He is just,
it's just the put upon dad who's like, I guess this is how it's going to be. And if you don't know who Paul Dooley is, you actually do know who he is, but you don't know that, like if you Google him, he's just like that sad sack, like that sad faced actor who's fantastic in literally everything he's in.
Literally everything. And he has a group. So Dennis Christopher has 3 friends. I'm just going to say this. Those 3 friends are played by Jackie Earle Haley.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Daniel Stern.
Oh my gosh.
And Dennis Quaid. And they're all great. I legitimately don't know why this movie is not as famous as like Slapshot or Rocky
Right.
or these other 70s.
It might be because it's cycling.
It might be purely because it's cycling. You're probably right.
Yeah.
It is so good. It's so
if you
good.
if you could score points while cycling, like if you could score goals or touchdowns or home runs while cycling, I'd be listening. I'd be paying
Or
attention.
punch somebody.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I'd watch that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there you go. Sports film. Go for it.
Warrior.
Love it.
So super bummed out you didn't choose it, but I mean, whatever. We're happy people.
Oh yeah.
You were like, I mean, you know how you were like, for that moment you feel free.
Yeah.
Whatever the opposite of that is, that's what Warrior does to you, and I love it.
My wife.
I don't know if you've got my picks are like, I'm not sure they would do good things for you. Any of them. Now that I'm looking at them, I'm like, this is dark.
Sure. My wife does not like violence in her entertainment. It's hard for her to watch. But she watched Warrior. I was like, look, it's going to be violent. There's going to be not only violent, there's going to be blood because people get cut and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but
and you will be okay.
Right. But it's important. Like, this is a movie that is not just like, ooh, rousing sports movie. It's a great movie.
It's a beautiful film.
And when not only did she find it a beautiful film, but the actual MMA action when Joel Edgerton was about to face off against the huge dude Koba.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh God, he's huge." It was like
this is a bad idea. Totally. I know this is being filmed and it's fake, but it shouldn't happen.
Right. And when he did the thing where he slams him down, she was like,
"Oh my gosh!"
Ah! But not in the way that she normally recoils from violence. Like in the way that
she was in it. She was all in.
She was all in. Yeah.
I have mixed. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with violent sports, with blood sports like boxing and MMA. Sure. And I had actually never really watched MMA except for this movie. Yeah. I do find myself, I don't follow it, but I will like talk bad about boxing. And then if boxing is on, I will totally watch it and get it. Boxing is a very compelling sport to me. And I don't know why. I mean, I do know, but I don't like it, but there it is. But this movie Warrior is about family, and it's about love, and it's about darkness and fighting through it, and it is about and above all, it's about grace, but it's about true, real grace, which is to say that grace, which is literally means like a freely given gift, is actually a very costly thing. It takes an immense amount of yourself to be able to truly live into the grace that is around you. It's sacrificial, and it's just a stunningly beautiful film. It's a little bit, it's a lot of guys being guys, all men much more masculine than I've ever been, but it's sure. But I can't watch Warrior with my children.
No, you'll get zero argument from me on that.
So if they come in the room, I can always put on The Sandlot.
Oh, you're killing me, Smalls.
They actually haven't seen it yet, and I've been getting, because for reasons that I don't understand, Krista doesn't like it. I know.
All the words you just used.
No, I know.
I know them. I'm familiar with all of them.
Literally, including Krista. You know that name.
Yes. No. Very familiar with them.
Got it. All the words.
The name of your wife. Yes.
The person associated with the name. The whole thing.
Yes.
I don't get it, Andy. And I'm far enough into this marriage that I'm not going to try to figure that out. Like year 1, I would have really pushed, right? Like year 2, it might have been a fight. We're in year 11. I'm like, you don't need to like anything that I like. It's fine. Let's just get through this.
Nice. That's great.
It's romance.
Great.
So she's her own person, man. But my children are not, and I will teach them to like The Sandlot.
That is a delightful movie, and you are an excellent parent.
Oh, I agree. Thank you. This next category is tough.
Yeah. So next category, war film.
Yeah.
So I added another little wrinkle just for myself. I don't care if you follow it, which is why I didn't tell you about it. Because of our current situation, not only did I go with war films, I stuck to POW films.
Oh,
yes.
Good call. Brilliant.
Oh, yeah. So Rescue Dawn. Bridge on the River Kwai.
Still never seen it.
It's so good.
I believe you.
Stalag 17.
It's on my list.
Yep.
That was in one of my nominees.
Nice. And The Great Escape.
Wonderful.
Escape. My winner, Stalag 17.
It should be. It should be
Yeah.
your winner. This is a good film.
It is dramatic. It is funny.
Yeah.
It is everything you want a movie to be. And for my money, William Holden as Septon, I think his name is.
Yeah. I think that's right.
I cannot think of 10 better performances literally in history. It is so good. It is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I'm gonna watch that movie again at some point in the next week. I'm feeling a lot. I'm feeling that a lot with a lot of these movies I'm mentioning. That movie I will watch in the next week. Book it. I love it.
I love everything you're saying. Everything about it.
Go for it.
I didn't pick a children's movie for war. Maybe that should not surprise you.
It does not.
I'm trying. I really try to rack my brain on this one for them, and it's just not there, which is probably fine.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess you could go like Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which is.
Yeah, you could.
Because not only do
there's a battle scene. There's a battle scene. And they do like that movie.
Right.
Okay.
But they also go to the. They also go to the old house because they're getting away from the war, right? So
yes,
that too.
Hold on, I'm working on this here.
Yeah,
hey buddy, what's up? I'm recording. You wanna get what you got to do and go?
Yep.
Thanks, buddy. That was pretty great.
It is pretty great, folks. We're gonna try to keep this a family podcast. So if one of us curses, I will be bleeping it out. But I want to tell you and Phil at the same time, there is zero chance I'm blurring out his child.
I did the hand thing. I did my own blur.
I know.
I think if you watch the video of this, I did a phenomenal blurring job.
Where you miss him, he's on it now.
Okay, so hey bud, enough. Go. Thank you.
Something to put the papers together.
Okay, Mom will help you. You don't need it from there. Thank you. And he's like, couldn't you have recorded this somewhere with doors? And I don't have an answer, so I just sat here angrily. I mean, my war movies are so pedestrian, but Apocalypse Now was a very close call.
Sure. Love it.
Especially just because we're in the apocalypse. I mean, that was my main reason. There's a lot to be there. And so I almost picked it just on the topical reason of all that.
Sure.
But I picked Patton. And I picked Patton because it's long and I'm just the slow paced movie right now is working for us.
It's doing it for you.
I got nowhere to be. Show me this and you get to sink in. You get to you get to sink your teeth into George C. Scott and Carl Malden just chewing scenery it's
everything.
It's a Slim Jim, man. It's awesome. I love it. I mean, Rommel, you magnificent bastard. I read your book. I almost picked Inglourious Bastards. That was another one I could have picked in a lot of different categories for a lot of reasons. Just a brilliant movie. But I'm picking Patton.
That's your kids' war movie.
Yeah. I mean, they gotta learn at some point about
somehow right?
about Nazis.
And the wrong history and all the cursing and the violence.
Wouldn't it be great though if you were it's the wrong history, but it's kind of amazing. Let's just go with this.
Oh yes.
Let's just go with this.
Let us.
Right.
Yes.
That'd be pretty rad if my kids learned history from Tarantino movies and we're so there was this time that they shot Hitler in the face, right? We're oh, you mean when all the slaves freed themselves and torched all of the slave mansions and shot it all up?
Yep.
It's amazing. My kids would be wrong. They'd be wrong, but they'd be amazing.
That's true.
We're not doing that though. We're not doing that.
We're not.
So anyways, okay. So that's my category for that. Next.
Animated movie. Yet again, I had to restrict myself. I could have nominated 50,000 movies here.
Yep.
Inside Out.
Oh.
Up.
Yes.
The Iron Giant.
I already mentioned it, Mike. I've already mentioned it. It's already been said.
It's true. Wall-E.
Mm.
And again, at the beginning of this, of the first half of this, or the first part of this podcast, I said that what I was trying to do is either find movies that would make you feel free during quarantine, or much like the blues, allow you to sink into the feeling of despair.
Like Sadness does in Inside Out. She
Yes.
allows him to
Connection.
cry.
Yes.
Yeah.
My last nominee, Anomalisa.
Oh, you've told me about this and I have not seen it.
Okay, just real quick. Anomalisa effed me up. I mean,
It did. He like called me after. Andy called me after and was like, something just happened to me.
yeah.
And I didn't like it totally, but also I loved it.
Here's the deal. I did that. That is true. I can confirm that I did that, but I didn't do that immediately. First, I drove home.
Yeah.
And on that drive home, I was with my girlfriend at the time, the woman who is now my wife.
Well done.
And I lapsed into a silence so complete and all-consuming that she spent the drive home worried that I was about to break up with her, because that's the mood that I was in.
Yeah.
It was not like that was not a thought in
Yeah.
my mind, although throwing myself off a bridge might have crossed my mind.
A close second.
A close second. But that's a little bleak. That's a little bleak, even if we're talking about the blues.
Even for now. So what'd you choose?
Well, bleak. The Iron Giant.
Winner is Iron Giant. Yeah.
I'm not going to talk much about it because you already said brilliant things about it in the first part of this podcast, which everyone should watch if they haven't, or listen to if they haven't. I will say this. I chose it over the Pixar. While The Iron Giant is a lovely and layered and nuanced movie, I actually was looking for something more straightforward than the unbelievably complex stuff that Pixar gives you, or at least those Pixar movies offer. I was like, give me something good and give it to me straight. So,
I get it.
Yeah.
I actually wrote down Iron Giant first. That was my first pick. And
Nice.
then I ended up using it for a different pick for the children's.
Yeah.
So I could I was going to have it for the children's pick for one and my adult pick for the other one.
I love it.
But I didn't go that direction. Though I wrote it down and it's still written down, but my animated movie, both for myself and for when the children are here, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I love it.
An absolutely exquisite movie.
Yes.
A perfect film. Talk about a masterpiece, and a masterpiece that no one knew was going to be a masterpiece. A masterpiece that, when they make a movie and you were like, nobody asked for this. You didn't need to do this.
Right.
Like, they're like, finally, we're rebooting Knight Rider. And you're like, nobody said that was the thing. Like, that's not finally. It was so finally. What?
Yeah.
And they're like, like when they were like, we need a Baywatch movie with The Rock. No, we didn't need that. It's not.
Nope.
0 people. We're looking for a Baywatch reboot, right?
Yeah.
So they were like, we're like in the midst of all of the Marvel comic universe crushing it out of the park. Sony was like, we're just going to make a different Spider-Man cartoon that's not actually connected to any of that. And we're not going to, it's not part of the MCU, and we're not going to talk about it. And it's just, there was this, just like, what are you guys doing? And Into the Spider-Verse, like, what is that? And like, it's not like the whole thing. And then they were like, oh, well, what we're doing is making a perfect film.
And they did.
Enjoy everything. Mic drop, walk away.
True.
And it's just my children, my 3-year-old who does not know what's going on any of the time, is obsessed with this movie. And if you're like, it's the greatest thing ever. It's the best thing ever to have your kid be obsessed with, because I have watched Spider-Verse like 4 times so far in this quarantine.
I love it.
He's watched it more than that. That's how many times I've watched it with him. And
Nice.
I'm like, if I went into the other room when this was over and he's like, Spider-Verse, I'd be like, yep, let's go. Let's start that. Let's do that.
Yeah. Nice.
So that's my animation picture.
I love it.
What's next, buddy?
Next genre, black and white film. This is infuriating. It's infuriating to me.
Oh, buddy.
Black and white is not a genre. It's not a genre.
Oh.
No. Strangers on a Train is not the same genre as The Philadelphia Story.
Sure it is. They're both old.
Is not the same genre as Clerks.
Yeah, they're both. Yeah, well, that's not old.
Oh. Okay. So what I did for this was I went silent films, which again, not a genre,
Not a genre.
Not a genre, but maybe a genre, but not a genre. But it does feel like more of a piece. So there you go. Still angry.
It's funny that you made this objection because I didn't even think about it, and you're 100% right.
I
Like
know.
100% right.
I know I am is the thing. The thing about
But
me is that I know I'm right.
but I'm such a. I mean, like, I think everyone who's listening knows that I'm a priest for a living.
Sure.
It's not just a hobby, folks. And so like
I
I'm
don't
like.
dabble. I do actually.
So I have this like pastoral sensibility, which is like not always good. It's kind of obnoxious sometimes. But like I'm like you say that, and I'm like, yeah, that's true. But like, go easy on Josh, man. Like that's like my first instinct is like, I mean, you're right, but like, come on, Josh is holed up just like we are. He's doing his best. Thank you, my darling. But
Sure.
that's not you weren't being cruel in any way, shape, or form. And you're right. I mean, how do you choose? You're basically like pick a movie that's black and white.
Right.
So
Yes.
so Andy,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay. So again, my black and white all silent film choices. I have The General. Buster
Yeah, you
Keaton.
do.
Buster
Mhm.
Keaton
Mhm.
saving a train.
Mhm.
Our Hospitality. Probably one of the first romances out there.
Buster Keaton also being amazing.
Yes. Steamboat Bill Jr.
Buster Keaton crushing it.
Yes. And City Lights, which is, I will tell
Mm.
you, it's Chaplin, and it is the only silent film that has actually like moved me to tears. It is a glorious movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I need to watch it.
It's beautiful.
It's on my list.
My winner, The General.
Yep.
I think it's Buster Keaton's best film, and Buster Keaton is my favorite of the triumvirate. You've got Harold Lloyd, who I don't like, and is apparently was a virulent anti-Semite. So F that
All
guy.
the more reason not to like him.
Right? He does have the one thing where the guy hanging off the clock. That's
You've seen it.
That's
Yeah,
cool. That's cool.
that's fine.
You had a good image, dude. Anyway,
Oh,
Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin is the most well-rounded of the
Yep.
three, I think. Like he's the one that taps into my emotions the most.
sure.
But Buster Keaton just kills me with the comedy every time.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and he's it's like an Olympic gymnast or like a Cirque du Soleil performer, but like with like the comedic chops of early
Mm.
Saturday Night Live. He's amazing, and The General is his best movie. So that's what I went with.
Well, I didn't do anything snobby like only silent films. I chose a foreign film.
Nice.
Seven
Ooh. Okay.
Samurai. Seven Samurai is my choice. Which I did make my kid watch part of actually because I watched it on. I think I watched it on Christmas Day. Someone gave it to me. I got it for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I was like,
We're doing this now.
we're gonna watch this.
I love it.
4.5 hour black and white Japanese samurai movie.
That incredibly really is very rarely ever boring.
It's never.
So
it
good.
just I love it. I love every. It's just why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't it was just like this? Why is it 4.5 hours? He's like, because I didn't have enough stuff to make it 5. It was
I'm
like his
really-
reasoning.
Right. I'm really glad that you went with Kurosawa because like thinking about black and white, I didn't think of it because I just so immediately went to silent.
Yeah.
But literally the only movie of his that I wouldn't have had as a nominee that I've seen is I guess 2. Ron, which is his King Lear, and
Yep.
Dreams. And the only reason is because those aren't black and white.
Yep. Have you ever seen his Macbeth, Throne of Blood?
Is brilliant.
It is brilliant. It's brilliant.
I have a story about that.
brilliant.
I was watching it at my off-campus house at Tufts,
Mhm.
and like everyone had cleared out because I was like, "Hey, I'm watching a black and white Japanese
Right.
version of Macbeth," and they're like,
Right.
"Sweet, bye."
Gotta go.
And the only thing I knew about it was the visual of in the movie what is Birnam Wood coming to Dunsinane is one of the most incredible visuals in movie history, and I was like, I'm
Yep.
super excited for that. It's great. And a friend of ours, Jess Reeve, she was one of my housemates, and she just happened to wander in like 3 minutes before that, and she sat down and she was like, yeah, people weren't playing on their phones then because we didn't have smartphones.
We didn't have them.
But like she
Right.
was like looking at something else, and she just happened to catch a glimpse of that, and she was like, oh, and she just
Yeah.
watched the rest of the movie with me.
Yep.
It's unreal.
Yep. Kurosawa is the best.
Nary a single thing in there.
I will say, I want to jump back on this idea of black and white as a genre.
Okay.
There is like a feel. I don't know what Josh was thinking, but like there is a feel for like a certain period of Hollywood film.
Fair, yes.
And I wonder, right? I wonder. So like we just watched, Andy, never seen it before. The other night I watched All About Eve with Betty Davis and Ann Baxter.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, that movie.
Yeah.
I'd never seen it before.
Betty
Davis is a friggin' genius.
Oh yeah. I mean,
everybody in it was great, but
I've only seen it once, and I saw it on the big screen. When I was living in New York.
Oh.
There was a in Chelsea. There's a film, like a regular film night, like classic film night, hosted by a drag queen, Hedda Lettuce, or sometimes her aunt. It's the same performer, Netta Iceberg. We had Netta Iceberg,
Nice.
and at the very end of her like shtick at the beginning, she was like, spoiler, she dies at the end.
And you were like, what?
And I was like, I was so angry. I was so spoiler.
Yeah. She does not die at the end.
But I was waiting and it actually sort of made it better. You can't make that movie better. But I was like,
like to sit in that movie with like seething anger while appreciating the movie and then being found out that the person was just screwing with you is actually a brilliant way to see that movie.
Yes, it's true. It was great. So there you go.
I would throw movies in this category like Maltese Falcon, Double Indemnity,
Casablanca.
Right? Some things like Casablanca. I literally wrote Casablanca down and then crossed it out and put Seven Samurai. But Andy,
100%.
If my kids walk in the room, I could show them Seven Samurai, but it wouldn't stick. So guess what I picked for my kids' movie?
What's that?
The General.
You did not.
Yeah, totally.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. It's great. It's brilliant.
I was afraid you're going to go like Pie or something.
Oh, gosh. But if my kids come in the room, I'm going to punish them for coming anywhere near me. Pie gets the award for the strangest movie I ever liked. It's not the strangest movie I've ever seen. And I've liked a lot of other movies a lot more. But it walked that line.
Nice. Excellent. I like that.
All right, Andy.
Last genre.
The last category he gives us.
Guilty pleasure. Guilty pleasure. I love this. There are no rules. So I went with, shall we say, whatever the opposite of snobby is, which is probably what he meant by it.
They're the movies that when people think that you're film buffs, they think that you won't like these movies. And then you're like, turns out though, you should watch all 10 of these.
Totes do.
Yes.
They Live. You knew this was coming.
Yeah.
They Live. Roddy Piper. He came here to kick ass and chew bubble gum when he's all out of bubble gum.
Oh.
It's so good. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Oh my gosh, that movie is amazing.
It's so good.
So good.
Green Street Hooligans.
Oh.
Elijah Wood and Charlie Hunnam beating the crap out of each other and other people because of soccer.
The best reason to beat the heck out of someone.
Right? Escape from New York.
Oh, wow. You're just crushing it today, buddy.
John Carpenter, Kurt Russell, they're the ones crushing it.
Yep.
And my last nominee, although I really could have done a billion of these, Cellular.
Oh, you have told me. This is the Kim Basinger flick. She's captive or something, and she's got a cell phone. You've been trying to get me to watch this movie for a decade. I've never seen it. I also go back and forth, depending on when my life exists, between Basinger and Basinger. And Andy, I don't. Today it's Basinger.
Here's the deal.
If we were recording
her name, I don't go back and forth because I refuse to say her name.
Oh, what are you, Alec Baldwin's personal attorney? Like, what is this? That's
pretty funny. Two things. No, it has nothing to do with my feelings for her. I love her to death. I am just so scared of getting it wrong.
Sure.
Like saying,
do you remember when we were growing up and you were like,
or GIF in front of the wrong person, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's just GIF. But there are people who are like Demi Moore.
Yep.
Actually, no one says that anymore because no one remembers her. But when we were growing up, that was a thing that people had like issues.
Demi or Demi? Yes.
And I was like, I don't. And the thing is, I'll never find out because we're not hanging. But anyways, but I think about this movie all the time of this idea of someone being captive and like needing cell service, essentially.
Yes, right.
That's the movie, right? I mean,
Yes,
essentially.
well, it's so, yeah, no, the person who needs cell service is not the person who's captive.
Oh.
Kim is captive, and she basically she's held captive in an attic, and there's a phone, like a literally hang up on the wall phone that the guy that he's like one of her captors smashes with a bat, and she's able to get it to work, but she can't like dial a specific number, right? She just can like put an outgoing call out into the universe, and whoever picks up, and
Right.
the person who picks up is Chris Evans. And
Okay.
and I'm telling you, in the same way, not the same kind of movie, in the same way that like when I saw Winter's Bone, I was like, Jennifer Lawrence is going to be a star. When I saw Cellular, I was like, Chris Evans is going to be a star. And you just sometimes and it is stupid. It is so stupid.
I do love the idea that Cellular is Chris Evans' Winter's Bone.
It's it's true. Yes,
I feel like everyone's offended by that.
Yeah,
Jennifer Lawrence, possibly Chris Evans.
Probably most of all J-Law. Sorry,
great though.
Sorry.
Clearly a guilty pleasure at any rate.
Yes.
And yet none of these movies are your winners.
One is Escape from New York.
Ah, it's a good choice because it's so claustrophobic.
It's and
everything is upside down. It's the topsy-turvy, man.
It's so good. It's so good. And it's like John Carpenter, man, like there is something about him as a filmmaker that I just really jibe with. And it's not just the fact that he has made a lot of objectively good movies. Like The Thing is objectively good, right?
Yep. Agreed.
Like They Live is a better movie than people realize, but I would still call it a guilty pleasure.
It's a B movie, but yes.
Exactly.
John Carpenter made Halloween, right?
Yes.
Like
yes. Even
the grandfather and Herb movie of all slasher picks.
Yes, 100%.
Terrifying.
It is
terrifying.
And then even some of his what people would call his lesser stuff, like Assault on Precinct 13, I think just great. Like
I haven't seen it, but I've heard that it's like super wonderful.
I mean, you got to be in a mood, but
sure. So, before I tell you my pick, I have to tell you that that captive movies I don't do well with them.
Sure.
I don't do well with that genre. I don't do well with captive flicks, and I don't do well with cheating flicks.
Same word. Cheat.
Movies that are about people cheating, I don't do well. Like movies that are about infidelity.
Sure.
I don't handle them well. So they don't go well with me.
Unfaithful, not your favorite Diane.
Literally, the movie I think of every time. It's a perfect example of an exquisitely well-made movie. That I like, perfectly well-made movie with a great cast doing good work and a director. I think it was Adrian Lin, I think, but like good work across the board. And I hope I just wish that it hadn't happened. Right.
But
my guilty
the world to Olivier Martinez.
I know.
Who was
like I said, he was in 3000. I think he was the or 300, whatever the number is. What's the number? Is it 300 or 3000?
The Spartan movie?
Yeah.
I don't think so. He was the bad guy in SWAT, though. Which
okay. You're right. I'm wrong.
The only other movie I think I've ever seen him in.
He was on he's been on some things.
I have no doubt. Yours. Go for
it. Fast 5.
I love it. I love it so much. That was
What's really funny. What's really funny is I have really strong opinions about the idea of a movie being a guilty pleasure. So my attitude genuinely is if I like something, then I'm not guilty. I shouldn't feel guilty about it.
No.
But then I think about like just how much I love Neil Diamond. And I'm like, there's some guilt there. And then I think about the Fast and Furious movies, which are examples of movies that are cheesy.
Yeah.
And I don't personally think that they are, and this may, you might disagree with me.
Hmm.
I don't think they're intentionally cheesy.
I don't.
I
Either.
don't
No,
think
no, no,
they're in on the joke.
no, no,
But
no. None of them. None of them would work if they wouldn't work if they
I
were.
liked, so far, there's 8 of them.
Yes. Plus Hobbs and Shaw. Yes.
I didn't see that. I won't count that. I'm just gonna go with the first 8.
Sure. Yeah.
So far, I like all 8 of them. Yes, even Tokyo Drift.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yes.
Yes, I like them all.
Yep.
And I own the box.
Yeah, you do.
I do think the last one. I do think the last one was problematic.
Yeah.
But 5 is the peak. 5 is the one where The Rock shows up.
Yep.
5 is.
Very
I remember seeing it, and I remember being like, Vin Diesel versus 5 versus The Rock in 5, like the way that they fought each other.
Yes.
And I was like, Vin Diesel, like The Rock is what America thinks it is, and Vin Diesel is America.
Sure.
And
that's a fair assessment.
And if Mr. Diesel hears me say that and thinks that I'm insulting him, sir, it might sound like it, but I promise you I am not. I love what you do. Like, I love what he does. We've already mentioned Iron Giant. He's the voice of the Iron Giant.
It's true.
You and I both love Guardians of the Galaxy. He does yeoman's work there.
Yes.
I'm in the Vin Diesel camp, unquestionably.
Have you seen?
But I love Fast 5, and the energy in that movie is perfect.
It really
glorious movie.
It really is perfect. Have you seen there's a supercut on YouTube of every time everyone in one of the Fast and Furious movies says family?
No, I will cry. I'm crying in my heart right now thinking about it.
Think about how long it takes to say the word family, like not an entire second.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like 10 minutes long.
I'm gonna be cutting onions later, man. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Oh my goodness. But Andy.
Oh, yes.
But I'm not gonna be watching Fast 5 with my children.
Fairly bloodless, but sure, fair enough.
Good amount of violence. It's language stuff, I think, mostly.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, sure.
Because yeah, it's and family. What's the problem? What should be the problem?
That's right.
But we're not there yet.
Yep.
But Andy,
you're not there yet. You're not there yet because you haven't watched Fast 1 through 4. Also,
I know, that's the real reason.
Right.
It's there's a lot of objectification of women in those movies.
It's true.
And I'm not, and I have a daughter that, like, I mean, you're supposed to be like, no matter who, daughter, son, I don't want them to learn that. And that's true. But I 100,000,000% am not interested in my 9-year-old daughter being
it is.
Why are they all arm candy? Like, I don't need her to understand arm candy at this age.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
It's not a great children's movie, but Secret Life of Pets is, it's just genuinely not very good, but I will watch it like anytime. I won't even fully pay attention. Like, I'll zone out the way you do with guilty pleasures sometimes.
Sure.
But that, of my kids' movies, that's the one.
I really like that. I have not seen it. My wife saw it without me, which makes it that's like the 5th movie in the world that she's seen without me.
Right.
And she liked it to the point where she made plans with friends to go see Secret Life of Pets 2, and apparently hated it. It apparently was terrible. But yes, so
I was about to say I thought it was fine, but I cannot remember what happened in it.
There you go.
The second one.
Fair enough.
But the first one's lovely.
So that brings us to the end of
his list.
Billion genre list that Josh gave us. And yet, as many genres as he gave us,
Andy, he missed out a couple.
He did.
What genre were you thinking about, Andy Roth?
I actually had a couple, but I like going into the one that you mentioned.
Oh, documentaries.
Documentaries.
Which is funny that I'm bringing them up because I am generally squarely in the anti-documentary category as a person who does not like educational things.
It's true. Why am I learning anything? Is pretty
as a rabid anti-intellectual.
It's true. Yes, documentary. They're important. They're important. I actually have.
You actually are someone who cares about them. That's true.
I mean, I care.
Would
about
you, off the top of your head, could you think of like a documentary you'd want to be like at home with right now?
Yes,
Is it Hoop Dreams?
it is.
I know you. I know you.
Yeah.
I know you.
I will
haven't seen
say.
it
I
yet.
will say there is another lighter documentary that would be my other nominee here, which is
And
The King of Kong: A Fistful of Quarters.
oh yeah.
Which is about the pursuit of the
The highest score in Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. Yes, it is. It is bananas. It's just
BANANAS.
this.
I am literally 3/4 of the way through watching Spike Lee's When the Levees Broke about Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans.
Hey,
And I've never seen it before. Came out 14 years ago.
Yep.
Or
I have never seen it. I have not seen it.
it might have been 13 years ago. I think he filmed it in 2006 and it came out in 2007. You may recall a couple years back. So some of you who don't know, Andy and I did a thing where we decided to watch every single Mel Gibson movie in chronological order when we were doing our show. Some of you will be horrified by that. Others of you will think that it was a difficult task, and whatever. At any rate, we did it. It's a thing we did. We liked it a lot more than you'd think we did. We also didn't like some things. Our feelings about Mel Gibson are complex.
Extraordinarily.
They're not two-dimensional or one-dimensional feelings. They're very complex and complicated feelings for the man, the myth. But because of that, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this idea, by the way, of watching somebody's whole filmography. So I do this with music. As some of you know, last year, I decided to listen to the entirety of David Bowie's discography in chronological order, having only heard 2 albums before that.
I love this.
And now I'm a huge Bowie fan because of it. And so about 3 years ago, I think that's right, 3 Lents ago. Lent is a season in the Christian calendar. Before Easter, you oftentimes take on a discipline or get rid of something. I decided to watch every single Spike Lee movie in chronological order. I failed miserably. Out of 40, and it was almost exactly 40, because you'd have to watch one a day.
Right.
And I'm a busy human being, and then watching a movie a day can be tough.
Yeah.
I got through 20.
That's amazing.
And thank you. And I love Spike Lee now, it turns out. If I'd only seen those 20, I now love him to pieces. I think he's amazing. And anyways, I have all sorts of feels about the Spike Lee. I've never, and the next one on my list was When the Levees Broke, and I started watching it. And I'm like going through just like a mess of feelings right now. First of all, he's a phenomenal documentarian. He does great work. Sure. But I'm just going through all these sorts of feelings. We're in this apocalyptic time right now where we're watching different state governments handle the situation at different levels of competency. And we're seeing a national government that doesn't seem to fathom at all humanity and how to address what's going on. It's not just that they're addressing it poorly, so they don't know how. Like they literally don't even have a concept of how. Yeah. And like it doesn't register. And watching this movie, I didn't want to watch it when it came out.
Yeah.
I didn't want to watch it when it came out. I didn't want to know. I mean, I didn't want to pay attention to it. And I was not interested in knowing those things. I wanted to like kind of retreat into my privilege and just kind of hang out there and not worry about that stuff.
Right.
And it's watching this story from 14 years ago of similar issues of lives lost because of, on all sorts of levels, different various understandings of what's necessary, but also different like people, like a real genuine lack of care, and so yeah, I'm trying to like figure out how to talk about it, and maybe I should just stop because I'm working through it like right now. But like it's a phenomenal. I mean, it's phenomenally well made. It's 4 hours long. It's about an apocalyptic event, much like the one we're in now, and it's dealing with the humanity and it's dealing with the difficulty of the bureaucracy and a bureaucracy that is not designed to be humane inherently. And so what do you do when a crisis is essentially a crisis of, which is a crisis of humanity, which of human lives? Like what does that look like?
Yeah.
We have ideas about how to, and I mean, stepping back away and trying not to be polemical, we have ideas about how to save systems, organizations, and businesses. And some people could be cynical about that and be like, oh, well, that's about money and blah, blah, blah. Well, money affects everybody. So yes, agreed. Yeah. But like, we have an idea of how to affect organizations and businesses and systems when it literally is about humans in the moment. Our system, the system in which we pledge our allegiance, to which we pledge our allegiance, it freaking doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And it's really like, I'm not even at a point where I'm mad right now. I'm like numb about it. I will say, and then I'll shut up about this. I live in a state, the Buckeye state, the great state of Ohio, where the state leadership in our current situation has been at the forefront of our country in terms of flattening the curve and and shutting things down quickly and pushing and promoting and enforcing social distancing and doing all sorts of stuff. And it's been Ohio has done well, and other people across the country are paying attention to our governor and our medical director. And so I feel very fortunate, genuinely feel very fortunate to see what it's like. We talk all the time in partisan ways about the person we like doing a good job. I didn't vote for this guy. He's doing a great job. like this is a person who's handling this thing really well. And it's a beautiful thing to see, but then watching this documentary, like, puts me in this space of like, just how horrific things can, I mean, Andy, anyways, like, the hurricane wasn't the problem.
No.
And it's everything after the fact.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I'm learning. It's just, I know it sounds like there's going to be people listening to this who are like, yeah, buddy, that was a long time ago. Catching up. Way to go. Well, I am. I mean, I'm way behind. I'm learning about our history, and Spike Lee's a phenomenal chronicler of this story.
To put it in the most superficial terms possible, right? Like, you and I have talked about like the idea of spoilers and like, when is the right time to spoil a movie? And it's like, you know what?
Right.
When my kid, who is not even born yet, is getting ready to see Casablanca,
right?
Like, I'm sorry,
right.
Like, it's still a spoiler. Like,
right, I agree.
It's still a spoiler.
Yeah,
it doesn't really censor yourself.
In other words, there's the story being told. We hear it when we're ready.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Yes. That's absolutely true. I do. Just for a moment, I want to speak about Hoop Dreams.
Oh, please! I'm sorry, I got off on the Spike Lee.
Please, no, I love it. I love it. It was fantastic, and it was just right. It was just right. But if you don't have 4 hours, but you do have 3,
I was gonna say,
and and you want to, if you are, as I am, any of the following, white, male, heterosexual, educationally privileged, economically privileged, if you want to feel that privilege, and
all those things, Andy,
right? And what the lack of that means. And by the way, if you're not any one or more of one of those things, this is still a beautiful movie that is just filled with humanity. I could not recommend it more highly. Hoop Dreams, you also do not have to like sports, by the way. It follows it starts with them in 8th grade and follows them through the college recruitment process in basketball. And it is as thrilling as any sports movie ever made, because when you were watching game footage, there is no one scripting whether or not they win the game. And it spends as much or more time dealing with, they get into a private school because they can play basketball.
Right.
But there is almost no time spent worrying about, can they handle it? Has their education to this point prepared them so that they can actually make use of this amazing educational opportunity they have been given? And their two paths diverge pretty quickly, and I would not dream of spoiling the journey that these kids
Yeah.
go on. They
Yeah.
are they are they feel like members of your family by the end of the movie. Their families feel like members of your family, and you just care for them so much. It is glorious. Um, and I will say this: Roger Ebert fell in love with this movie, and it's one of the things
Yes.
that made me fall in love
That's
with
why
it.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, he it was not only not nominated, it was being talked up in 1994, I believe. It was being talked up as a best picture nominee possibility, and not only was it not nominated for best picture, it was not even nominated for best director. And
No, for best documentary.
for best documentary. My fault. Yeah,
Right.
for best documentary. And it was so like sports entertainment people like would read the nominee list, and they would say, like, on air, I saw some clip, like the guy literally stopped because he could not believe that Hoop Dreams was not one of the
Right.
five nominated for best documentary. And Ebert said something like, well, someone was like, well, isn't it just your opinion that this is such a great movie? And he was like, sometimes matter of opinion stray into matters of fact. And,
Right.
and like, hell yeah, Raj. So yeah. Yeah. So that's,
I need to see Hoop Dreams. I want to see
have you not
that.
seen it?
No,
Oh,
I don't see documentaries.
Sure. I will watch.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Yeah. Did you have any other categories that Josh missed?
I didn't. No, that was the one that stuck out to me.
It did. It didn't. I didn't actually clock it, but when you said it,
That's because, and I think it's literally because I've been like getting ready to watch this one, and now I'm watching it. But
sure. Mystery.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I might. Well, yeah. So you know what? I would create a category, but it might fall under thriller, is suspense.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would have different ones for
Right. Suspense, mystery, thriller can sometimes all fall in the same category.
Of course.
It's like one of secretly my favorite categories.
Sure. I also, to be perfectly honest with you, and obviously there are some movies that are clearly one or the other, but frankly, the Venn diagram of thriller and horror, there's a lot of overlap there.
Yeah, that's the overlap I don't like.
Sure. Do you have just off the top of your head anything for mystery?
Knives Out.
That is my winner as well.
Best movie, or not best. One of my favorite movies of last year, without reservation. One of my favorite movies of last year.
It is delightful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teen movies.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I have so many picks. Karate Kid, though.
Right? What you say?
Karate Kid.
I love it. I went. Oh God, I love that. I didn't even think of it. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
10 Things I Hate About You. The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, of course.
Mean Girls.
Yeah.
And Clueless.
Yeah.
And we're in quarantine. My answer is The Breakfast Club.
That's brilliant. That's a good call. I don't even own. I mean, I owned that movie on video cassette. When you were talking about favorite movies, like your favorite movie in middle school was Monty Python Holy Grail.
Sure.
Mine was Monty Python Holy Grail as well until I saw Breakfast Club.
Love it.
Breakfast Club was my favorite movie until I saw. I remember I saw Breakfast Club in 1993, so it wasn't my favorite for very long, but I watched it twice in the same day, and I've never done that before.
Nice.
Like I'd never finished a movie and then said, I'm now going to watch that again. And Breakfast Club was the first movie I did that for consciously, where I was like, this, I have to watch this again right now.
I do not recall that as clearly as you do. I am convinced I did that.
Hormonal teenage Phil, just this movie.
Yes.
Hit me right in the feels, as it were.
So,
but honestly, if I was going to go teen category, I might go Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Also a great option.
Anyways, any other categories you got?
I have 1.5. Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay, good. Throw it. I have one other one too. Sorry, go ahead.
You got to indulge me on this one. And
I can't wait.
It's just so I can say the name of this movie out loud.
I can't wait.
Zombie
Thriller. Or zombie movies as a genre.
Dead.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
It is not, I would say, the most archetypal, certainly, It is the
You just
second-
wouldn't have to work hard to get me to watch any of the Cornetto trilogy right
no.
now
Nope. Nope.
or ever.
No. It's not the archetypal zombie movie. It's not even the best zombie movie that epitomizes like loneliness or quarantine or isolation. But
Which would be
I-
Dawn?
I would probably go Dawn, although
Yeah.
one of the few things that Day objectively does well is that sense of isolation.
Yeah.
Even better than Night. And in Night, there are people stuck literally in a house.
Yeah.
But it is comfort food. It is just. It's,
Oh yeah.
it's comfort.
Agreed. I
So-
showed the Mrs. Hot Fuzz a couple weeks back.
Okay.
What a delight.
I'll just say that there's a scene in that movie where a certain man's head
Yep.
Explodes, basically. I'm not showing my wife. She's actually.
I was gonna say that precludes your wife from ever enjoying this film.
Blocked it out. I'm
Yep.
not showing her that movie again anytime soon.
No. What's your half category?
Do you have another category?
Foreign films.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
My answer is Kurosawa. Literally everything.
I mean, yeah, I think I've established I really drew my line in the sand on that one and put it down pretty clearly.
It's true. Although, I mean, 8.5 and La Dolce Vita are glorious.
I just don't know good old what's his face. I can't even remember his name right now.
Fellini.
Yeah, I just don't know Fellini. I mean, I made it through college without watching them, so now it's never going to happen.
Sure.
I mean, I've even seen Antonioni, but I've never seen Fellini, which is crazy.
Sure. I mean, I would go like 8.5 and La Dolce Vita are my favorite. I
minored in Italian in college, and I've never seen a Fellini
You
movie.
lived in Italy.
I lived in Italy, minored in Italian, and worked in the video section of the library, and I haven't seen a Fellini movie. You have to try hard to be as dumb as me. You can't listen, kids. You don't get this done by accident. You got to work at it.
Yeah. I mean,
Aren't all his movies like super artsy and super horny?
not as artsy as you would be afraid to watch, actually.
But horny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't watch them in college. I don't understand.
Right?
Something happened.
Nice.
I just
Let's
into
see.
the Japanese movies.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Yeah, I'm a Kurosawa guy. Even as much as I love Fellini.
No, but that's not the right. It's not the right answer for this situation.
Right. Like.
No, the right answer for this situation for this quarantine right now.
Yeah.
Is Parasite. It's
Yeah.
Parasite.
Yes.
It's
Yes. I love it. Yes, that's right.
Maybe the best movie of the last 5 years.
Oh, it's so good, guys. It's so good. It is
That and
so
Jojo Rabbit were like just absolutely crushed me.
It's almost unfair that we got both of those movies so close together, so we can't
Yes.
say like, oh,
This one is the best one of this year, and this one
Yeah.
was the best of this year. Yeah.
I mean, also awards for art are dumb, but
Yep.
yes. My half category is the Josh, I don't care. I'm going to watch these movies anyway genre, and I'm not picking a winner. There are two of them because they are
Okay.
two that I have.
They're just quarantine gotta watches.
Yes, and they're because I couldn't find a place to put them as my winner in any individual category. They are my two favorite movies of all time, Rushmore and When Harry Met Sally. I'm watching both of those movies in quarantine,
Fair enough.
even when I'm not looking for a particular genre.
I don't think I realized that Rushmore was one of your favorite movies, which is weird.
Yeah, it is.
I knew you loved it. It's not like I didn't know that,
Sure.
but I have to sit with that for a little bit.
My love for it started because for those who don't know, it was filmed at my high school. It was filmed. Rushmore is St. John's School in Houston, Texas.
Right.
It was filmed my freshman year in college, so I didn't get a SAG card like all of my friends in drama. I did meet Phil though, so I came
It's
out.
true.
Of that.
It's a big win.
So yeah. But yeah,
It's a big win.
But I mean, Bill Murray.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
in my lifetime, honestly, you ready for this? I'll say it. In my lifetime, I think the two biggest Oscar snubs are Hoop Dreams and Bill Murray for Rushmore.
Oh yeah. The fact that Bill Murray didn't win for that or for Lost in Translation or for, I mean, I've been thinking a lot about these movies that weren't the movies that matter more. Okay, so for instance, like no one would have called it a classic at the time. After talking about it the other day, Krista and I watched The Matrix.
Yeah.
It's a generation defining movie.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't and it didn't win anything.
That's true.
And I don't just mean generation defining in terms of its special effects, although that's true. I mean in terms of the entire movie.
Oh,
and it matters more to us. And Princess Bride is another one.
Yeah.
These things matter to us.
Yes.
Like have more of an effect on our understanding. And it's not just popcorn fare either. There's something about them that dug in.
Yeah. Yes.
And like, yeah. So the fact that somebody so Groundhog Day or Ghostbusters, I mean, like no award can actually quantify what Bill Murray has done to our generation. Can't.
Yeah.
It's like Jon Favreau, and then we gotta stop, but I gotta say this. Jon Favreau co-wrote and starred in Swingers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then essentially was responsible for the creation of MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, by directing Iron Man, choosing Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
Then goes on to be
not when that was not like a
at all a gimme. Total
dunk.
gamble.
Yes.
Becomes exec producer on all the Marvel films after that. Creates the Jungle Book, so starts the live action renaissance live action I should put in quotations renaissance for the Disney movies, some of which are horrible, but some of which are really good. Mainly the ones he makes are really good.
Yep.
And then and now there's what else? He just did something else. Oh, and then he did Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Yeah.
Like name a person who's had more of an effect on our culture and on our generation. Can't.
I mean, he's in
not in popular culture.
I mean, he's
not in movies.
Spielberg, you know.
Right, because yes, thank you. That's right. Right,
but,
for different reasons, but yes.
Yes. I mean, but yeah.
No one at this point, I don't think Favreau has made a movie that people would be like, he's a brilliant director. Whereas Spielberg was always gunning. I mean, Spielberg was like a film student who wanted to be a great director.
That's fair. Yeah.
But who cares? Because he's just too busy making wonderful things that I want to watch all of.
Word. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man. I started getting into cooking again because of his cooking show on Netflix. Favreau. I want to hang out with that guy. He knows what's up. He just knows what's up. So anyways, all that's to say, artsy fartsy, blah, blah, blah. What's the movie that I want to watch regardless of category or any of those other things? I have a real hankering for Godfather 2. I haven't watched it in a long time. I really want to watch Krista and I are going to start the AFI Top 100 back up again.
Nice.
We were stalled out for about 8 years. So We're picking those back up. Well, she's like, what was the last one I watched? And we're not going to watch them in order. I think we're just going to watch them now. I think. I want to watch Hugo, the Scorsese movie Hugo. Nice. I just want to watch Hugo and feel good about the world.
Amen.
This is a beautiful piece of work.
Agreed.
I think that's all I'm going to say.
I love it. So, guys, we've come to the end of our second episode here, our second part of this podcast, and we still haven't gotten to a significant amount.
We have a lot of other questions, so we're going to do another episode.
So I guess there's going to be a third part. I guess that's going to happen. I guess that's a thing. So that's a thing. So and our pledge to you, we make no promises after these questions because Phil's busy. I'm busy. I'm about to get more busy because I'm about to have a kid. But we will not release part 1 of this without making all of them. So we will not leave this half done or 2.
There will be 3. There will be 3 episodes at least.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say like, and our promise to you is that this is as good as it gets. We're not going to get any better at this than this.
Right.
Or like, my promise to you is we promise not to learn anything.
We will not improve.
Have you heard about in Seinfeld what Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld's rules were when they were writing the episodes?
When one of them, they can't learn anything.
No hugging and no learning.
I love it. Yeah,
no hugging, no learning. Nobody learns anything. That's there's a lot of hugging going on in this house, but I don't want any learning if I can
No
help it.
learning and no hugging. All right. Well, with that, that'll bring us to the end of another Second Breakfast podcast.
Basically, what better 2 rules for this apocalypse are there than no hugging and no learning?
There it is. Thanks for tuning in. I'll keep the goodbye short because we're going to say hello again real soon. So we'll see you again real soon.
Bye.
The most important meal of the day, second breakfast.